Hey folk, welcome back to the last video of 2025. Hi, we just had to make one final appearance for the year. So the last video that I just posted was my top 10 worst dolls of 2025, which means that now we get to do the positive inverse and end the year off with a bang and talk about all the dolls that released this year that I just think were the absolute cream of the crop, the best of the best, my top 10 dolls for 2025. Now, just like with the negative version of this, the worst dolls of the year list, it's totally chill if you disagree with me. If you hate all these dolls, it's no skin off my back. Just please be kind about it if you want to express that in the comments down below. As per usual, it'd be really helpful to me if you find yourself enjoying, if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hype. I remembered all four of them. Look at me go. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the list. Now, I will say this was a tough video to do just because I feel like there were so many good dolls that came out this year, but more specifically, because this year I found myself liking entire lines or like very nearly entire lines. So I did try to make it a rule for myself that I would just like pick my favorite of a line to sort of represent all of them for a specific spot so that like the entire list because it's just a top 10 list. That's all I do. Like, I didn't want four of those to be the Bratz Scorchin dolls. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was very pleasantly difficult just because, again, there were so many good dolls to choose from. But, like, that's such a happy problem to have. So, with that being said, I genuinely feel a little bit crazy that this doll is in 10th place because she's so gorgeous. But it is the G3 Core Nephra Denial doll. She is just so amazing. I think she's just such a gorgeous doll. I know a lot of people really agree that this is one of the better G3 core dolls that has come out. Like, she's just an absolute stunner. I think we have some good references to her original doll. Her pet is still the same, like, type of pet, just obviously G3ified. She's got a very similar hairstyle going on, but she also, does look more G3. And I always say this, I feel like a broken record saying this, but every time I look at this doll, I'm just amazed by the balance of colors. Obviously, a design this colorful is not going to be for everybody. That's fine, but it is for me. And I just think that they did such a good job of incorporating so many different colors all across the stall. Like, she really and truly is a work of art, and somehow it only goes up from here. Taking a look at another Monster High doll for ninth place, we've got Scary Sweet Birthday Frankie Stein. Funnily enough, this is not one where I'm like, oh, the whole line is so excellent. Not to say that it's bad, but this is not like Frankie representing all of Scary Sweet Birthday. I just genuinely love this Frankie specifically so much. The Cupid I like, but like she was not a contender for the top 10 list for the entire year. The Cleo I wasn't really a big fan of. The Claudine is good for a playset doll, but like, Dracula was really the only other like contender. Is it crazy if I say that I like this Frankie more? I don't know. I just think they're really fun and funky. Like, Draculaura is absolutely gorgeous from this line. Do not get me wrong, but there is something about this Frankie that I'm just obsessed with. I love the asymmetry. I think this is a really good example of how to use pink in their designs the right way without it looking absolutely ridiculous. I am a little bit of a sucker for the side shave. Like, I just adore them. I think that they are definitely the standout for me of Scary Sweet Birthday. And when I like compared them to G3 Nephra, it was really close. But I think I like this Frankie just a little bit more. Okay, we are looking at another Monster High doll, and I'm just now realizing how Monster High heavy this list is, which is funny because if you watched my like 2025 purchases rewind video, I actually bought more Bratz, like by far, than Monster High. But not to spoil too much, there's going to be a more Monster High on this list. Currently, though, we're going to be looking at the Sculptament Secrets Oasis Laguna. This was a whole line that I was super duper excited about. I still think the designs really hold up, but I did have some problems with mine. Like, the unboxing experience was just not quite what I thought it was going to be. But that being said, this Laguna still really stands out to me. And honestly, it is mostly her face and her hair. Not to say that her clothes aren't also fabulous, but the reason that she tops the other two Monster High dolls that we've talked about so far is literally just because I think this face and this hair are so gorgeous on her. Like, they look really nice in the picture that I'm showing you here. in person they're even better. Like the screening is just different, and I think it gives her a very unique like look. I don't know, like her facial features just look so different and so pretty in this, and the hair blend on this Laguna is so good, y'all. It is so it's just the exact perfect color of blue. It's so heavy with the blue, like the platinum blonde really gets to kind of take a back seat with it. And it has this faint little wave to like it is so gorgeous. I'm genuinely hoping that this sort of becomes more of the default for Laguna going forward because that's how much I love the hair and the screening on this doll. So that's why she's like a little higher up on the list. But we are breaking away from Monster High for just a minute because now we do have to talk about Bratz. And yeah, this is where all of the Scorchin dolls would go if I like wanted to be a little cheaty and include the entire line. But the standout that I am choosing to like represent the four dolls that we got from Scorchin is Sasha. I think this entire line was genuinely really fun. I think they had such different screenings and it really drew me in because they just I don't know, like they just look a little bit different than any other Bratz dolls that I've seen before. I think they were really fun and creative. I love all the outfits that they got. Sasha in particular, her face is just so pretty and it does help that my favorite color is orange, my second favorite color is yellow, and here she is rocking this beautiful bright yellow like this whole line again is just so good. And honestly, if you ask me what my favorite on a day-to-day basis, it's probably going to change every single day. But right now, I'm just feeling extra close to Sasha, so I wanted to highlight her to represent the Scorpion line. Still on that Monster High break, now we have a Barbie on the list. This is the second tribute to fashion Barbie doll, and so far, I'm loving this line. Like, granted, there are only two so far, and I have no idea if there will be a third or fourth or however many they might go up to. But yeah, so far, very happy I have both of them. And this one in particular, she just amazes me. I think she's such an incredible doll. In that same rewind video, I talked about how Tony bought this doll for me, and he also thinks that she's like incredible and amazing and wonderful and perfect, which from him does mean a lot because usually he looks at dolls and it's just like, that's a doll, but he thinks she's really pretty. She is another one that like is good in stock photos and is even prettier in person. And the biggest kicker is that just generally speaking, it's not like I have a hard hatred or anything like that towards 20s inspired fashion, but it's just not my favorite decade. You know, like some people have a like really intense love for the 20s, or some people are just like, yeah, you know, like if I have to pick a decade, I think the 20s were a cool decade for fashion. I just don't have that. Again, it's not that I like hate it. I just don't feel particularly drawn towards 20 inspired fashion. So for this stall to like suck me in this hard, I think it really says a lot about her design because it's not like I'm predisposed to like this sort of thing. In fact, it's generally something that I sort of just gloss over and don't really pay attention to, but she demands being paid attention to. So here we are. Breaking into fifth place, the top five here, we are back to Monster High with my first ever Skelector, Emily from The Corpse Bride. Now, I know this doll was contentious, and I do want to, like, not go off on a rant, but a minor tangent here, because the number one thing that people really hated about this doll was the dress. That's fine. You're not required to like anything. It doesn't change my enjoyment of the doll if you absolutely think this is the worst thing that's ever been created. But I just want to posit a question because I just think that this is sort of interesting. And again, this is like not accusatory. It's literally just me observing and being like, huh, that's kind of weird. So with the dress, like, yes, there was the critique of the vine situation, like the belt sort of thing that she's got going on top, and the quality of the fabrics. Personally, I didn't think that they were that bad, but there was like discourse about that. But I feel like the number one complaint was it doesn't look like the dress from the movie, which is true. It is what it is. The only reason that I bring that up is that something that I find really interesting is when the I almost said Edward Skelector Scissorhands. That's crazy. When the Edward Scissorhands Skelector came out, the people who liked that doll, I saw a lot of people being like, it's not supposed to be one to one. It's not supposed to be exactly like the movie. And again, that's fine. Like, I don't care, but I just think it's funny that like the Corpse Bride got so much criticism for not looking enough like the movie. But then the people who did like Edward were like, who cares if it looks like the movie? I don't know. Again, it doesn't matter. It's just something I noticed. And unfortunately, that has to come out of my mouth. It cannot just stay in my brain. But back to Emily, I just think she's so, so pretty. Personally, I did really like her dress. I thought it was perfectly fine. I think the rib cage, like the hole in the dress and then the sculpted rib cage is genuinely insane. Like, that is so cool. I don't think she got enough credit for that at all. I think the face is beautiful. I don't know. She just is really, really fun to me. And there is a little bit of like that emotional tie because, again, she was my first ever Skeletor. I had never bought one before. And so she does stand out for me personally for that reason. I don't know. I really do love her. That brings us to the fashion pixies, which is another line that like was so hard for me to pick just one to be on the list because I really do like all of them. The only doll that I don't have from the line is Lena, and I might get her at some point on a sale. But I have the core four, and I am thrilled with all of them. They're all just so beautiful in such different ways. But if I have to pick, I'm gonna pick Chloe, and I think this is really, really quite popular. I think this doll is gorgeous. I literally have two of her because I was trying to fix her hair and I messed up, and so my husband bought me a dupe of her so that I could fix that one's hair instead. And now I have another one to like mess with the hair and redress and customize and have fun with. Like, I love her. The dupe came out of an accident, but I'm happy to have another one because that means that I get to have another one with this face. Like, I know a lot of people hate the nude lipstick. I think it's really, really fun and pretty. Like, personally, I vibe with it. I think the eye makeup is gorgeous. I did give mine a couple of little like tendrils coming out the front, and I do think that's a little bit better than just like the slick back pony. I'm kind of over the lack of bangs or face trimming pieces. I like really need us to get back to that in doll world in general. But even so, I think Chloe is so, so fun. I love these jeans for her. I feel like jeans are such a Bratz thing. Like, especially older Bratz, they had denim like no other doll brand has done denim. It's just crazy. So having jeans again, it feels just so quintessentially Bratz. This is one of the most gorgeous doll tops that I have ever seen. And even the wings, I know everyone's like piss yellow. I like them. I don't know what to tell you. I think they're really pretty. She is an absolute stunner to me. Again, not to dismiss the rest of the line because they're all so good. But we're just highlighting the one. And for me, it had to be Chloe. No. Third place. Okay. Third place is bittersweet to me because this is a doll that I desperately wish I could have gotten. And it just wasn't in the cards. And that is the La Llorona Barbie from this year. Like, I might cry. She is so unbelievably beautiful. Barbie pulled out all the stops for this doll. The veil is insane. The hands are insane. The face is gorgeous. The earrings. The thing that gets me the most is this ball gown. How long has it been since we had a Barbie with like a true proper ball gown? Like, I mean, not a line, not even like it's got a good flare there, like a ball gown, like poofing out at the hips. I feel like we haven't had that in a hot minute, or maybe I just haven't been paying enough attention to Barbie, but I don't remember seeing that in a minute. And I love that silhouette in general and on dolls too. I just think she's so gorgeous and so just just absolutely incredible. If I had her and like I was able to have that tactile experience with her, there's honestly the potential that she could have taken the number one spot this year. But alas, I was not able to get her because she released like 2 days before the Aliens Collector, something ridiculous like that. It was definitely within the same week, but I think it was dead ass 2 days between when this doll went up and then when the Fan Club like early release for the Aliens Collector came up. I'm so sorry. I don't have $200+ because of like shipping and everything to spend in 1 week. Hello? Like, that was just such an evil release schedule, quite frankly. Like, I'm so genuinely disappointed by this. So, yeah, that's the only reason I don't have her is because I wanted to try for the alien doll and she sold out. So, I'll never get to own her because I think she's already quite expensive on the secondhand market. But I sure will be loving her from afar, and she still had to be on the list. Like, there's no way I could not shout out this Barbie. That being said, I obviously then have to shout out the doll that I sacrificed getting her to get. I think this is going to be surprising, but the Aliens Collector is actually number 2 on my list. I've already seen a lot of these videos, and for a lot of people, Alien is number 1, and I completely understand why. This is, in my opinion, the best Skeletor that has ever been made, hands down. The level of detail and attention and design is just so unreal, and, if I'm being honest, quite frankly, unexpected. Because, like, while I did like Emily, and I definitely think that there have been other good Skelectors, especially as time has gone on, I think a lot of them have gotten to the point where they look significantly lower quality. Not her. Mm-mm, not her. I feel so lucky that I was able to get this doll. She's just amazing. Like, everything that you hear people say, like, every good word that you hear people say about this doll is absolutely true. I'm, like, not surprised at all that a lot of people have her as their number 1, but for me, there was one doll that was better, and it definitely is, I mean, maybe a little bit less for, like, quality purposes and a little bit more for, like, emotion purposes, but that is the 2025 Dia de los Muertos Skeleta doll. Here's the thing, like, again, I definitely think you can make an argument for the Alien doll being significantly higher quality, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. I think that that doll is very special and very unique and all of those things. But there's just something about this one that gets me. It's a lot of things. I was gonna say I don't know what it is, but I do, and it's so many things. This was another first for me. This was my first Skeleta that I've ever bought from any generation because the US still doesn't have access to G3 Skeleta. Soon, please. I want that doll also. But I've never had a Skeleta before. And so, like, that inherently felt sort of special to finally get to add her to my collection because, like, she is a very unique doll. You know, I think we're slightly more desensitized to her because she, as a character, has been out for so long. This doll's a skeleton. And, like, that's a crazy concept in general. It definitely caused some controversy and stuff when she first came out. We're not going to get into that. But I've never gotten to have that in my collection. So it feels really, really cool to have this unique body sculpt in my collection now. And I also just think this is such a cool Dia de los Muertos doll. I'm stumbling on my words, something terrible today, y'all. I do apologize. Like, she's just very unique. She definitely stands out to me amongst the other Skeletas that have been made for the holiday. The number one thing, though, it's her face. This is unreal. It's just, it's absolutely unreal. The amount of shading and blushing and painted details and colors and just there's so much going on with her face, and it is so unbelievably well executed. I genuinely think this might be one of the most detailed Monster High faces ever. And she's so, so pretty. Plus, I love all the colors that she's got going on. It was hard, okay? It was genuinely hard to look between this one and Alien and be like, which one wins out. But I don't know. I honestly, a big part of it might be that I haven't seen Alien, so I don't have that, like, emotional tie to it. That could be part of it. I'm looking at them on my shelf over here. But the second thing is that as I have tried to actually pose her on my shelf, I think in my review, like, I didn't say much about the stand because it was just like, it's working for the review. But trying to pose her on my shelf has been such a pain in my ass. That stand, like, does not work the way I want it to. Her tail has like this weight to it. Obviously, it's like this huge long tail with like a wire in it, like to keep it posable, which is super cool. But I don't think that that was really accounted for with the stand in general. Plus, she has the head, which already Monster High heads are oversized. So they're like a little bit weighty, you know, plus the hair and the helmet. Like, she's just so weirdly balanced. And it is nigh impossible for me to get that doll in an interesting pose while having her keep said balance. So that might be the other thing that's tipping me over to liking Skeleta a little bit more. Because while Skeleta has a saddle stand and she's not like, you know, the most stable doll that I have, she stands there perfectly fine. I don't have as much trouble with her. Like, I'm able to get her into a pose and it's totally fine. Whereas Alien, I really had to like drag onto my on my shelf, kicking and screaming. So I think, like, when I look at them, I look at Alien and I'm like afraid to touch her because I don't want to have to do that shit again. I don't want to put her back on the shelf. But Skeleta, I'm just like, I can run my fingers through her hair. I can pick her up and like hold her and have that experience, and then I can put her right back, and it's completely fine. I don't know. There's a lot about her, and I love her. They're both really incredible. But for me, I do think I like Skeleta just a little bit better. But that is it. That is all of my top 10 dolls of 2025. Please do let me know in the comments down below both what your top 10 are, or just like top 5, top 3, whatever makes you happy. Like, I don't want to be like, you have to list out 10 dolls. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. But also tell me what you think of my list. Am I insane for not putting Alien at number one? I'm very, very curious to hear what you have to say. But that is going to be it for me for today and for the year, y'all. I don't know. Like, I feel like normally the year ends and I'm like, whatever. Because ultimately, I know we all like make jokes and it is like a celebration. It is like worthy of celebration, but it's also like you go to bed one night, you wake up the next one. I'm weirdly sentimental this time. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure why, but the fact of the year ending is hitting me a little bit harder. So thank you all for being with me this whole year and obviously in years past. Thank you for continuing to be here as we move on to 2026. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day or your night, whatever it might be. Happy New Year to everyone, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.